This time on Whatever We Want, we're talking about Avengers, Age of Ultron. Right, Daniel?
Yes.
We're talking about the new updated VFX techniques for the Hulk, as well as the difficult time that Joss Whedon had working on this, with some compromises with Marvel he had to make and everything, and why he's not working on any future Avengers films. All that and more in this episode.
Yeah.
Check it out. PreBanter, PreBanter.
Okay.
Yeah, boom, bam, podcast. Here we are.
So I know we are talking about Marvel right now, but one thing that's on my mind, have you seen Star Wars Squadrons?
I've heard things about it. I haven't seen much about it.
It's pretty good.
Cool.
Because you know I have the Oculus Rift set up, right?
Yeah. Oh, is it a VR thing? I didn't know that.
Yeah, doing it in VR is like...
It's like you're actually flying the...
Yeah!
What is it? Like X-Wing or whatever you're in?
It's like X-Wing, Y-Wing, A-Wing, or U-Wing.
The whole alphabet wings?
Yeah, the whole alphabet of wings.
Cool.
And then you have multiple tides. You can do like the Interceptor.
They weren't really creative with naming ships, were they?
They just saw a shape and you're like, oh yeah, name it that. Or maybe they like predetermined a letter they wanted to model it after.
Let's base this one off of a W.
Yeah. Which is weird because their language is like Orabesh, right? Mm-hmm. Wait a second. That's a good point. What is like why? Why in Orabesh?
Tell me why. Oh no. Oh my gosh, it just reminded me. All right, this is a good segue. Actually, I just sang like Tell Me Why. Every time I edit these and I sing something in them, I then get the song stuck in my head when I'm editing. So now I'm gonna
because you have to play it over and over and over again.
I want it that way stuck in my head for the next like few days while I'm editing this. So great job, past me. Editor Jake is not gonna be happy about that, and Logan won't be happy either because then I'll get it stuck in his head. Oh man. Speaking of like listening to things, I took a trip to Georgia. I can't really say why because it's like secret, but I ran out of stuff to listen to. Like I ran out of podcasts, so the podcast I had downloaded was like one of ours. So I listened to our Star Wars Episode 5, ARoSW, and man, is it very different than what we do now. Like it was like slower paced and not as many behind the scenes goodness and goodies and stuff.
I feel like we just like retold it and then like we geeked out.
Yeah, we had the stories of Probo, remember?
Oh and yeah,
Probo and Abominable George Lucas.
Dude, Probo! Oh no.
Let's not get into it. We gotta start it. You ready for the intro?
Yeah, we do. Let's get into it. Yeah.
You may want us to talk about this or that, but we don't care. We're gonna talk about whatever we want. Blah. Welcome back to Whatever We Want, the show where we, Jake and Daniel, two devilishly handsome gentlemen, talk about movies. Yeah, giving behind-the-scenes insights, filmmaking techniques that we think are going on, all that amazing stuff about your favorite geek movies like Marvel and stuff like that. Also, I actually haven't talked to you, Daniel, but I wanted to ask Daniel, what are your thoughts on potentially actually taking a break from Marvel after this one, just temporarily while The Mandalorian's coming out, and kind of doing like a just reaction to The Mandalorian as those come out?
Based on like specific episodes or like a series on the new season?
Like as the new ones come out, just kind of like recap and theorize like right as they come out.
I've been down for that.
All right, we're doing that. Bam, it's decided.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Dude, there's a lot of stuff that goes into that now. I mean, I'm sure you've watched like the Corridor digital videos and stuff on that.
Yeah, with the virtual production, that stuff's amazing.
Oh my goodness, because that's all done real-time rendering with Unreal Engine and stuff like that, and using like
we'll talk about it, Daniel. Daniel, save it for the episode.
Okay,
save
fine.
It for the episode.
That's my heart and soul, and I love it. All
right,
let's get into this.
Before we get into what we're talking about this week, oh my gosh, Daniel, you spilled the beans. But let's take it back to the tank before.
Took you a second to remember the phrase.
No, I was because back to the tank would be going back to Ultron, but like I want to go back to before. So
back. I got you.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
Back,
Galaxy far away. Exactly.
So when we talked about Captain America: Civil War, Winter Soldier a couple weeks ago,
yep.
I think I forgot to say that the stunt double for Captain America, he went on and like he kind of worked up the ranks of like being a stunt coordinator. He was the stunt coordinator for like Infinity War and Endgame and stuff. Like he went from like a stunt man to like a stunt coordinator. And then the recent film that came out, Extraction, like with Chris Hemsworth.
Didn't he like direct that?
He directed that. Like that's so cool that like he worked up the ranks from like Captain America stunt double to like directing like a very successful.
Did you not say that in the last episode?
Did I not? Did I? I don't remember.
If I did, like you did.
Just
or maybe
remember.
You told me about it afterwards.
I think I did. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it was still pretty impressive. Like to be able to like go up that rink like that. And although it was on Netflix. I mean, a lot of people use Netflix and stuff like that. I'm not sure how well Extraction did.
I think it did really well. I'm pretty sure.
Did it do? Okay, yeah, I was going to say.
And on Netflix,
it was very well done. And there's just one like super long shot that is amazing. If you ever do want to talk about that movie,
a car chase? I haven't seen it.
It's kind of a chase. I don't want to spoil it to you.
Yeah, we'll save it for later. We've been rambling a bit.
We'll
ramble some more. Whatever you want, Daniel, I guess.
With a long shot. It's fine.
All right, so before we get into it, I wanted to do our patron shout-outs up top. Cue the Star Wars music. Boosh! We've got patron Evan, Lori, Frank, Tony, Rick, thank you. If you want to pledge to our Patreon, we have that link down below. You get some cool perks like episodes early, stuff like that.
Gracias.
Also, we have an Audible link down there. If you want to support the show, you get free audiobooks.
Gracias to all.
Cool stuff. You also, if you want, please follow us, our social medias. The handles are down below. Yeah, we post some cool updates and interesting facts about the episodes, like when they're released and stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
Also, one last thing. I was in class for my my one like 3D modeling class, and someone's project looked like the collector's room.
Oh, really?
From Guardians, and we just watched that. Our professor was like, What's the guy's name in Guardians that collects stuff?" And I was like, "The Collector."
The Collector?
And then he was like, yeah. And I was like, bam. I mean, I feel like I could have answered that without having seen Guardians the week before, but like I saw it the week before.
So it's just made it that much more impactful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
That reminds me, quick little tangent. I was actually featured on Sketchfab's social media again.
Again? For what?
Yeah.
Which one?
I made an Among Us meme.
Oh, really?
In 3D.
Nice.
Yeah, they did like an Among Us post, and there's like all the artists that have like Among Us things on there.
Nice. Yeah, Daniel's I was gonna say Among Us meme. His like your art stuff is linked in the description below, so check that out for sure.
Please give it a view.
All right, now that all that's done, let's get into Avengers: Age of Ultron. Are you ready?
Yeah. I feel like this movie.
Sound clip.
Did you ever see Return of the Jedi?
Yeah.
You tried to jump in too early.
Yeah,
Come
I did.
on, man.
I did. I forgot. I'm sorry.
It's not okay.
I'm just so ready.
All right, what were we gonna say?
So I feel like this movie, out of all the other Marvel movies, it's about big ideas but also small things.
Yeah.
But that said, like the mid stuff is I feel like where it lacks.
What did you think of the film viewing it this time?
It's a good film. It's definitely an Avengers film, but it's not the best.
I definitely think it's the worst Avengers film, but it's still
Yeah.
I still enjoyed it like a lot.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. And apparently, like, Joss Whedon had a lot of restrictions and guidelines to adhere by. Like, he had to really, like, fight to keep certain things in that he wanted, and he didn't have as much creative freedom, I don't think, because he had to live up to the hype of Avengers 1. And then he also had to set up, like, Civil War, like, Wakanda for Black Panther, and he set up Ragnarok and Infinity War and everything. So he had, like, a lot going on. He said in an interview that this movie actually, like, broke him. Which I was like,
Jeez.
wow. Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. That's kind of what I meant when I was saying, like, big picture, right? Because it's like you had to develop... There's a lot of entryway for like a lot of future stuff that came out of this film, like you were saying, like with Black Panther and setting the conflict up of Civil War and how you can start seeing the difference between Tony and Cap and stuff like that.
Yeah, but this was definitely like one of the biggest, I think, budget so far. The budget was projected to be $250 million, but I think like from different sources and different interviews, they said they like overinflated. Someone said they got up to like 300 million. Someone then said like it was 365 million, and then someone said it was like almost $500 million was the budget. And I was like, okay, this like, I don't know what it is, but those are all very big numbers.
I wish I had that much money.
But it did gross like a bunch of like it was $1.4 billion is what it made. So
jeez,
I think it paid off.
Which was the film that made the first billion?
Avengers, and then it was Iron Man.
That's right.
3, and then this. I'm pretty sure.
That's a weird order.
Well, that's the order like they came out.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. In this director's commentary, Joss Whedon did it alone, which I was like a little surprised. I thought they were trying to avoid that so that they didn't have another Iron Man 3 like Shane Black incident, like about philosophy and stuff. Oh man. We also had the logo right off the bat, which kind of threw me off guard because
same.
I'm used to having it like it kind of in the middle or like after something. I don't know.
Same. I'm gonna put that down. Literally, my first note was just Marvel.
Yeah, great first note. Hey, at least you're taking notes now, man. I really liked the opening sequence, like just that it was like a very long take, like long shot. It was one of the last things they delivered, just kind of introducing like all the heroes again, showing them that they're working together. And I feel like this film did a really great job of not falling into the Thor 2 trap. Like I feel like they could have done more with tearing down the team, but like Thor 2, remember we said kind of failed because he was all powerful and had nothing really challenging him. In this one, they start out as a team, but then Ultron really tears them apart and like takes down all their resources, and Tony becomes kind of like this villain that's like alienated from the group. And I feel like that gives them something they need to overcome and makes it more satisfying in the finale. Yeah.
It's unique to see the team dynamic change here, I mean, again, with this opening shot, you see them like unified. They're all working together like flawlessly. It's like majestic almost the way that they're moving and, working with each other. To then how we see things move throughout where there's constant bickering and like different ideals going back and forth. So
Yeah. Joss Whedon actually wanted to start the film with the like 6 heroes like all in the frame, and then just like go from
like
there.
The team shot. Yeah.
Yeah, but Kevin Feige was like, we need to set up and like get them there, and I feel like that felt like
the better play.
Yeah, and it just made it feel like it was earned more.
Yeah, I agree.
The first word said in this is shit. In that, sorry for cussing. I'll make this explicit, I guess. I feel like this film, the DP did a really great job. Joss Whedon said so, but like I feel like the world feels more grittier, or it feels grittier and more real than like in Avengers 1, especially with Cap's like new suit. He's not in that like freaking clown costume.
Yeah, it's definitely more grounded. Sokovia grounded.
Wow. I don't want to go on after that. Oh, also, Strucker, is that the lead guy?
Is it Von Strucker or Sean Strucker?
I think it's Strucker, but he is almost bald. He's like almost another bald villain, but he's got a buzz cut. But that also got me thinking, Ultron...
Batty McThinning.
Ultron technically doesn't have any hair, so he's also bald. Another bald Marvel villain. Baldy McUltron.
Baldy McMetal.
I love how we've just moved away. Like, the original reason I said Baldy McBurney was because I couldn't remember the guy's name, and I was just trying to like make it something short and catchy that I could remember. And now I've just completely moved away from that, and like literally like Baldy McUltron is just so much longer.
It's our own universe of bald characters.
Yeah. The MCB, Marvel Cinematic Bald Universe.
I feel like you should call him Baldy McMetal.
Baldy McMetal.
Yeah, because he's pretty metal, man.
Wow. Well, the location that they used for this was.
I thought you were gonna end it like be like, well, that's the podcast.
Well, that's it. We just talked about whatever.
But no, sorry. Continue.
I was gonna say the location they used is Dover Castle. Apparently, they actually went to a lot of locations like to film this. Like they went to South Korea actually to get some shots. They filmed a lot of it in London, other places that I'm blanking on right now. But yeah. Then the Maximoff twins go out, get introduced to them.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on them?
It's a lot different than the origins from the comics, right? Because for people,
they're Magneto's kids, right?
People who aren't comic savvy, they're Magneto's kids, and in this, they're more just random civilians who became war torn because of stuff happening in Sokovia. To then being the Mind Stone giving them power,
right?
Which is weird to think about how Trucker was able to do that.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's like out of any stone. I don't know like why that one would do it, but you do you.
I think it also adds a connection to Vision and Wanda.
Well, that is true. I do appreciate
because
that.
They both like came from the same thing.
Yeah.
Also, Ultron really, I think, takes a liking to the Maximoff twins because they're like his outlet and they're people he can relate to because he doesn't really have anyone else.
Well, at the same time, they're also evolved. They've changed.
Yeah. Like I feel like I think Ultron, because there's a line he says at the end here where he's like, when Wanda's literally about to kill him and he's like laying in the train, he goes, Wanda, like you need to leave. If you don't leave, you'll die. Because like he wants to save her. Like he doesn't want her to die, it seems like. And then she goes like, I just did, or I already did, or whatever, which is really, really powerful because like he killed her brother. But I feel like he might have like he has a very emotional attachment to Wanda and the Maximoff twins. And I feel like because Vision is part Ultron, that might also be influencing his feelings towards her a little bit, which is kind of interesting.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I only make good points, Daniel. What do you mean?
Well, most of the time.
Daniel, whenever I don't make a good point, I just edit it out. Let's be real.
The audience will never know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I also feel like this story fits really well with Tony's arc, going off of Iron Man 3. Like, he wants to protect, like, his world. Like, he was dealing with, like, the PTSD of Avengers, and he wants, like he said, he wants to put a suit of armor around the world, and he feels like Ultron is the way to do that.
Yeah. I don't know if his vision that Wanda gives him was necessarily like needed.
Yeah, but I think it sets up Infinity War well.
Yeah, no, it does. It definitely does. But like for motivation, I don't feel like it was needed to motivate Tony, but to give the audience a vision into like what he was thinking about experiencing.
I think if you like haven't seen Iron Man 3, like if you aren't watching them all back to back like we are right now, like I feel like that's a good reminder of like kind of what he's going through just really quick.
Yeah, that's a good point. And also just imagine being Wanda and like seeing that, because she's able to also experience it and see it, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I think it's really cool that she understands then that like this will consume him and make him like slip up and make a mistake, and like it'll be his own demise, which is why she lets him get away with the scepter.
Yeah. Freaking evil. Not really. I mean,
Yeah.
kind of, but yeah. Also, the lullaby, I deemed it the reverse banner boner.
What do you think of the
Dynamic between
Black
them.
Widow
Yeah.
and Hulk/Banner?
It's different, you know. I mean,
romance.
again, in the comics, Natasha's dated a lot of people, like a lot.
Yeah.
I think most prominently Daredevil.
Girl gets around. Oh, fudge! That's another song. It's
yeah,
stuck
you
in
just
my
did
head.
it. But no, it was different. And given these incarnations of the characters, I felt like it made sense, especially with how they were trying to tell Natasha's story, which hopefully we'll get. Well, I mean, we are going to get a lot more into when it comes to her movie coming out.
Yeah. Daniel, can I pause just 1 second? Like when I did that, like disgust of like blah, I like threw my head back and it like I rubbed my eye and my contact like fell out. I was so disgusted with myself. So I'll be right back. I need to fix that.
Get yourself all set up.
And we're back. Boom. Boosh. Yeah, so where were we?
So yeah,
what do you
we
think
were at
of
the reverse banner
that?
boner. So
What do you think of their relationship? Did you tell me?
No, I
forget.
didn't. I just started it, and then your eye exploded.
And then my eye died.
Yeah. So.
Then my iodined.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's move on from that horrible joke. Please talk.
Given like these incarnations of the character, I think it developed very well into how the characters view themselves. Right.
Okay.
Like Natasha, she never really talks about it, right? Because she's always like in the mission, or she's always, you know, being herself. But like, there's that conversation they have later at Clint's house where she's like, "Do you think you're the only monster on the team?"
Yeah.
Where she views herself a certain way because she knows of all the bad things she's done in her past. Well, she's brought up, you know, with like Reddit in her ledger and stuff like that. But
Yeah, and just about how like she can't have kids because of her procedure.
yeah, stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, I think it's also interesting they're having that conversation like in a kid's room, like the thing they can't
They
have,
can't
like a
have?
family.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool stuff.
You said that like it's like a
Like
conversation
it's
you
cool.
want to have.
Like no, it's cool.
Very,
like
very cool stuff. I can't have kids. Oh yes.
No. It's like the subtext and like the location. It's cool filmmaking.
I get what you mean. It was yeah.
Not the situation they're in. Oh my gosh. All right, let's get back to the beginning.
So they bust in. They take the scepter. We pretty much went through all
A
that.
chunk gets taken out of Barton.
Yeah.
They get the scepter, like you said. Good talk. No, it wasn't. That was actually added in post-production, and that was the voice of the editor.
Oh really?
He edited this, and he also edited Infinity War and Endgame, Jeffrey Ford.
At first, I forgot that the people were still alive. So I'm like, when Tony was like, "Let's have a talk," and he's shot. I was like, and it like cut to like the front shot of him, and he's like, "Good talk." I'm like, did he just make a joke after killing all those people?
I wonder, like, why does Tony get out of his suit and go into like Sentry mode? Like, I know the reason is because they wanted to RDJ. They're paying for RDJ and they want him to act. But like, why would Iron Man get out of the suit like in this facility?
Well, for multiple,
This
I
Hydra
feel like
base.
for one, if he wanted to touch his keyboard more precisely, if he wanted to feel the clickety clack of this Russian.
Couldn't you just like take the hand things off?
Yeah, no,
Like,
that's
peel your
definitely
hands
true.
back?
But again, like you said, RDJ. But also, secondly, right? I felt like I was building off of Iron Man 3, you know, where it's not just the suit.
It's not about his suit. It's Tony. Ah,
Yeah.
I like that theme. All right, that makes sense. All right, you've answered my question. Thank you, Daniel. This is the end of the podcast now.
That is all, folks.
But yeah, I like the "Please be secret door, please be secret door." Yay! That's one of my dad's favorite lines. And he opens a secret tunnel.
Oh, Tony. Tony's just doing everything.
That's also gonna be stuck in my head now in post.
I saw a
hooray.
lo-fi version of that on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'll have to send it to you.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so we get the lullaby, like you said. The Hulk VFX actually are really leaps ahead, light years ahead of the first Avengers. It's only been a few years, but basically what they did in the first Avengers, he couldn't do any of the like facial capture on set. He can only just do like act out motions. They need to record his face on a sound booth like later, like days later. Now they developed technology that they put dots on his face and they could record like a camera just on his face.
Like everything at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, so he can be on set giving the performance and that lets the actors act off of things. And it was just so much more freeing. And they could do like tons of different unique shots. Like for example, there's like an over the shoulder shot of the Hulk and it's just of like his shoulder, like blurry. But like Whedon said like they could not do that on the first one. And like they were able to do it on this one and it added so many more like creative options, which is really cool.
Yeah. It's always fun seeing how technology advances and changes to allow for
Yeah.
like new things. I mean, technically it could have been done, but it would have been a super pain to do. You know what I mean?
Right. So the next we see like Wanda beat up Cap for a second, and I don't understand the one shot. Like it like speeds up. It's like a horror shot almost. Like when she like backs through the doors, you know what I mean? It like speeds up and like it's like a time remapping thing almost.
Yeah.
Does she have like super speed all of a sudden? Like that's like the only time we've ever seen that like ability in all of the MCU.
Yeah, I feel like that goes into more of like her. It's either her like changing the perception of Cap,
Right.
or
that
something to do with reality. Like she's
that might be it.
Yeah.
Like warping time a little bit.
Yeah. Instead of like her being super quick, it's the opposite.
I honestly kind of liked it. Like I feel like that would fit really well in like Multiverse of Madness.
I know.
Stuff.
I want more of that, honestly, in Multiverse of Madness.
In Mom.
Or in the WandaVision.
Yeah. Why does Wanda do that though? Wanda punches Cap and then just leaves.
She doesn't just punch him. She like flips him.
Well, yeah, she like pushes him down the stairs and then leaves. Like doesn't even save Strucker. Like Strucker just gets punched and then is captured.
I mean, she's Wanda. She don't know. We don't know her relationship with Structure. Maybe with Structure. With a Strucker.
She loves the Dover Castle that they're filming at.
Oh yes, this architecture is exquisite.
Really 4th century Romans there. See the influence.
But yeah.
Oh, also, so in Tony's vision, which we see here right before the title sequence, the shield is broken, and Whedon was like, "Pay attention to that." I was like, "Okay," and it's apparently broken the same exact way that
it is in
Ultron's chest is broken at the end of the film.
Oh, really?
When Wanda rips it out of his chest. So that's interesting. I
didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Also, I really like when Wanda like does her hand gestures. Well, first off, she trained with like a hand choreographer. There's a hilarious interview on the James Corden show with Elizabeth Olsen and Anthony Mackie, and like Anthony Mackie's just making fun of her. He's like, "Yeah, she's like at a rave the whole time, just waving her hands around," and then he like just starts dancing, like pretending like he's Scarlet Witch. It's like pretty funny. But she like worked with like a hand choreographer, is the title, and she also worked with like a dancer to get like to choreograph her movements, which that was pretty cool.
I guess that makes sense, you know.
The thing I was trying to say, or I went on that tangent, the VFX artist like added red to her eyes, like whenever she uses her powers, and she never knew that they were going to do that. So like when she watched the film, she was like, "Oh, I did not know they were going to do that. Thanks, guys. That helped my performance."
I mean, it makes sense. You know, like a lot of her movements, they seem to follow like basic law of inertia. You know, there's a lot of momentum, like the way that she like she doesn't just move her hands in some cases. Like she actually like moves her whole body into like say like making stuff move. So
yeah,
you know, I feel like that definitely did work out for the better.
She like grabs energy from like the floor, I think, to be grounded, like we were saying. Haha. Yeah, but we get the title sequence and we cut to them flying back to Avengers Tower. I almost said mansion.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about the base at the end. Is that technically? I want to say mansion because it's not really.
That's the like facility. That's like the new Avengers facility.
Yeah, that's the facility. That's the thing. But it's not
a mansion.
We never got like the Avengers mansion. You know.
Dang. Maybe next time.
And another Multiverse of Madness. Give it to us.
Yeah. So actually, during the production of this, Scarlett Johansson was pregnant with her first child.
That's right.
So they hired 3 stunt people to like to help
stunt things,
like her do the stunts and stuff. And they look so much like Scarlett Johansson. Like Chris Evans, like again, couldn't tell like who was who, and often would have conversations like for 10 minutes with one before realizing that wasn't Scarlett Johansson.
Nice. I wish I could look enough like somebody to be like that. You know. What?
Nothing. This is a really cool shot when it goes from like the Iron Legion flying in and then like goes up through like, the glass. Yeah, through the A. Joss Whedon called it the A-hole shot because it goes through the hole in the A.
Yes.
But yeah, apparently it was like one of the last shots delivered also because it was a very long take. It has all the people in it like at one point again, but it also just establishes the geography of the place, the lab that they're going to be working in, which helps you understand the next few scenes. Also, before they get there, I forgot to say that Tony has a bumper sticker that says Jarvis is my co-pilot.
I know, Jarvis is my co-pilot. I had that as a note.
Joss Whedon had that as a sticker on his laptop. So he was like, "Can we get like something like this for the Quinjet?" And someone like found one.
That's great. But yeah, so we get back with the Iron Legion and they take Hawkeye in and they pretty much take him into med bay, right? And we see them doing this procedure where they're like 3D printing like tissue.
Flesh onto him. I feel like they tried to overcompensate for Barton being brainwashed and not on the team the last time, and it feels a little bit forced that they're trying to be like, "Oh, Barton's important," you know?
Yeah.
There are parts that I think it works, like really well. I think I'll talk about one later, like especially when he's like I think when he gives a speech to Wanda at the end, are you gonna like step up or not, kind of thing. Like I feel like that's a really good moment. That's not really forced.
Yeah, moments like that. I feel like he made a good point in there where there's literal gods and guys wearing like
none of this makes sense.
yeah, guys wearing like suits of armor, and it was like, I'm here with a bow. You know, one thing in the comics, right, that's very strong about Clint's character is that he
also has a bow in the comics.
yes, he has his bow, but he also never misses.
Yeah,
It's not just
yeah.
a thing he says. Like that's like an actual mindset he has because he's with all of these different crazy powerful people.
That's why he has so many kids.
Yeah.
He never misses.
Oh gosh. Let's get past that. Jesus, Jake.
All right. So in the lab, you could see in the background that someone's working on stretchy pants for the Hulk. I thought that was a cool Easter egg.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tony comes up with the idea to do Ultron, who is played by James Spader. I think he does a really great job. He was apparently the only one on their list of people they wanted to play Ultron. Spader actually came in and said he didn't want to just do voiceover. Like he wanted to be the role. So he and like Mark Ruffalo kind of used the same techniques of like mocap on set. And they actually hired Andy Serkins, the like mocap professional, like, you know, Gollum, and then he's the monkey in Planet of the Apes, or I guess the ape in Planet of the Apes.
There you go.
So he's like the professional, and also like Andy Serkins. Oh, he's also Snoke, but he plays Claw later in the film.
Yeah.
And the reason that kind of came about is because a fan, like just on like a forum or something, posted like, I think it'd be really cool to see Andy Serkins as Claw. He looks like kind of like him, and they. Like, I think Kevin Feige and some people at Marvel saw it, and they were like,
yeah, that's a good point.
that would be, like, really cool. And they already had Andy Serkins, like, helping with the project, like, for the mocap reference. So they were like, hey, do you want to, like...
You want to roll?
Be Claw. He was like, yeah. And he does a great job. Like, he's a really good actor.
You know, he does amazing. Especially later on, like, when it comes to, like, Black Panther and stuff, too. You, like, see him being, like, more, like, crazy, like how he is.
Yeah, with his, like, mixtape or whatever.
I made it rain! You want my mixtape?
Yeah. He also plays Robert California in The Office, and that's just such a cringy role.
Yeah. Well, not Andy Serkis. You're talking about...
Yeah, sorry, I'm talking about Spader.
Imagine if Andy Serkis was...
Oh my gosh. But he's like a mocap. He's like some like CG creature in The Office. Like a monkey or something.
What would he be?
Just like, he's just a bigger version of Andy Serkis.
Another one. All right,
but anyways, back to the tank. So there's like 2 seconds of footage, like a 2-second shot pretty much, probably a little more than that, but like it's a shot of them like kind of like sweeping through the lab as they're working, like a montage.
Yep.
And like it's like a moving shot, and it's like different, them doing like different things in the lab, and it's like an amazing shot. They said it took half a day to film because like they got like a motion tracked camera. I think it was called Memory Head Track.
Jeez, dude. And
they just did that shot over and over, and then set it up different ways, like with different lighting, just to show like passage of time. They had them in different outfits and doing different things, and then they spliced it all together, and it took half a day, and it's like 10 seconds max, which is just incredible.
That's crazy. Yeah. It's always nice when they put in like that amount of work.
Yeah.
Just to get like there's obviously some shots where like things obviously needed a little bit more work, but when you get the shots that obviously had like the love and care put into them, you can really...
You can tell.
Yeah. Well, there's also a duality to that, right? Because a lot of the times it's like...
Right, if it's done well, then like you
don't notice it. Yeah.
Like, I don't think I would like notice this when I first watched it, but when I got like into film and stuff, like that's when I noticed. I was like, wow. But that's why you listen to podcasts like this, so you can learn. Share it with your friends. They want to know too. You can talk about cool stuff.
Cool things all the time. That's what we do here with our words.
All right, back to the tank. So the party starts. Ultron is created just when Tony leaves.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I had to know. I'm like, so he was done like right as he left. Why didn't he like ping him like right then?
Yeah, but then Ultron quote unquote kills Jarvis. It's very sad.
Yeah.
That scene was actually added in post with like that visual component of killing Jarvis, because Kevin Feige wanted him to, because he knew that Marvel fans have an emotional attachment to Jarvis since he's been with them since like Iron Man 1, so he wanted to show like his death, and I think it is done really well.
Yeah. No, I agreed. I mean, think about it. You have to come up with a way to visually have something that has no visuals to it die, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like this was when I remember when I first saw it, I was like, why did they do it that way? Why didn't they just like show it like on a screen or something? But like I feel like this made so much more sense. Like actually like thinking about it, it's like you need to have some kind of physicality to Jarvis now. and
Yeah.
then that's taken away.
I really like the party scene that happens then.
Boom! You looking for this?
Yeah, that was actually thought up by Whedon on the day to do that little gag. Yeah, so we just get a lot of party stuff. I also think it's a really huge sign of respect when Thor gives Cap
Ale without even questioning
that like aged alcohol that's like not for mortal men.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like we have the
there's
Stanley
Stan Lee,
cameo,
yeah.
Excelsior, pretty cool. I really liked the like tones that this party kind of had, like the color temperature of the lighting. I thought was really warm and inviting.
Yeah.
Like you were kind of like invited to the party. Like I think, and that's what they were trying to go for too. So
Yeah, no, it felt welcoming, but at the same time, it was like also chill. And like when you're going from conversation to conversation, I mean, there are times where you feel like you could just be there,
Right.
Which was very well done.
But then we get the hammer scene. I love this scene so much.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about Bruce and Natasha.
I'm skipping that. We get the hammer scene.
Oh man, yeah, I noticed that. So yeah, everybody's trying, and then
So everyone thinks like, why couldn't Cap pick up the hammer here? And the Russo brothers said like, well, first off, we didn't make this movie, but second off, they said, and we didn't even like kind of hinted at this, I think, that like maybe he could pick up the hammer, and the Russo brothers said like he could pick up the hammer, but he didn't want to
like
take it away from Thor. Like, yeah. So he just kind of didn't. Also, the cast here, like, they seem like they're having a really great time. The cast, like, all of them have said, like, it feels like they're coming, like, back to school almost. Like, you can see all your friends. Like, we said, like, with Guardians, like, you make a family when you work on a film.
It's a reunion.
And then to, like, be able to come back and work with that family and strengthen those relationships, like, is really awesome. And they were all together here. We even said it was sometimes a nightmare having, like, all those, it was like children just, like, running around all the time.
All those different, like, personalities. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But we can't complain because, like, look at the result.
I thought there was also another theory too that said like Cap couldn't, like
he couldn't until he
like revealed about Bucky.
Yeah, to Tony off his conscience.
Yeah,
I have heard about that. Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, we get to Ultron coming out.
Yep, Ultron zombie is what I labeled it.
I will talk about one Bruce Banner Scarlett Johansson thing. When Bruce Banner like falls like face first into Scarlett Johansson's
Of course, that's the one
chest
you
area.
bring up.
No, the only reason I'm talking about that is because when he says sorry, like all he's very apologetic. Like that was his idea. Like he improv that on the day. That's the only reason I'm talking about it. I wanted to bring that up.
How many times did they have to do that take?
I don't know. Not. I don't know.
Oh man,
Mark just kept messing up, so you can keep doing it.
like how would you mess that up? Like I guess you could just say the wrong line. Like, don't turn green. I will.
Oh dang! Gotta do it again, guys.
Got play. Where's the zucchini?
Don't turn green. I turned blue. I thought.
Blue Man Group comes out. There you go, Charles.
I just watched Arrested Development because the Russo brothers like worked on that, and the one guy Tobias like for an entire season, his like thing is that he's like a backup for the Blue Man Group, and so like for half the time you see him, he's just like constantly ready to go on. He's just like in full blue body paint.
Oh God.
It's pretty funny. I would highly recommend that show, at least the first 3 seasons. But yeah, back to the tank. So
we get all the Iron Legion that's like Ultron-ified.
Yeah.
Cap jumps on the one and he straight just punches
Yeah.
it. But like it didn't do anything, so he just like punched metal and it, like
it's a cool fight scene, you know.
I feel like that hurt. Which also at the same time I feel like I thought about it afterwards, but like it shows still like the knowledge level of Cap compared to like say like Tony.
Yeah.
Because Tony's like
even later, like Captain America, it cuts from like during the South Korea sequence, like fight scene, it cuts to Cap trying to choke like one of the Ultron.
yeah, like why
things.
are you
like what? They don't need to breathe.
the one and only reason why you would do that is if it somehow gives you leverage against, like, say, his arms or something like that.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't, because he's so much bigger than you.
Right.
So, I don't know. Cap, what are you doing?
Yeah, but there's also a quick line after the fight, after they're like cleaning up, when Tony says that up there, and he's like pointing to space, like that's the end game. And the Russo brothers actually said that the title of Avengers Endgame, like when it was still like under speculation what it would be, he said that like it had been said multiple times in other Avengers films, and it's said here, and it's also said by Doctor Strange in Infinity War right before he disintegrates.
Yeah.
Also, there's a deleted scene where Tony makes a new encryption software to keep Ultron out of the Iron Man suits.
Huh.
Because I always kind of wondered, like, why doesn't Ultron just hack these suits?
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, I guess that is a kind of measure that you can kind of just assume Tony would have to do for it to work. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I feel like that would have been cool to see, you know? There's also a lot of references. Ultron is a very unique character in this iteration. One, he's comparing himself to Pinocchio a lot.
Yeah.
But he's also he's not religious, but he draws a lot from
He does.
religion.
I mean, the next scene is he's meeting in a church with the Maximoff twins.
Yeah, and the big thing he says there is that it was put right in the center of town because it's equally close to God for everybody.
Yeah.
You know?
Spader said that Ultron's a very interesting character because, like, he literally was, like, born yesterday, like, the whole, like, being naive
Yeah, the whole
thing.
trope. Yeah.
But he has access to all of, like, the world's history. So, like, it's kind of interesting, like, how would he process that, just being alive for one day, but still having access to, like, all of the world's knowledge? I think that would kind of make you go a little crazy.
A little mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe Vision works because he has Jarvis in him, which, like, has been around for years now.
Yeah, and that goes into the whole idea with, like, the difference between knowledge and wisdom.
Knowledge.
Right?
Yeah.
Knowledge. Yeah, because Jarvis, he's an AI, right? But he still is able to retain and build off of experiences, right? At a base level. So when we get to Vision, I mean, he's definitely built off of that. I mean, he says that, like, there's parts of Jarvis in him, there's part of the Stone in him, there's part of Ultron in him, all that, yada yada, you know?
What'd you say, Stone? Oh,
Yeah.
the Infinity Stone.
Yeah.
I thought you were trying to say Stark and Tony, and I thought you said Stone.
He's got a part of tone in him. A little stone boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get, like we said, we get to the scene where the Maximoff twins meet him in the church. So Elizabeth Olsen, the other actors, Aaron Taylor Johnson, they actually played a couple in Godzilla like the year before. So it's kind of weird seeing them now as like siblings.
Yeah.
But Olsen said that James Spader like was such a great performer, and people actually clapped for him like after his first take, the first day on set. But like he was such a great performer. What they would do, they had Spader like in his like mocap suit, and they had like a stick above him with like red dots for like their eye lines. And what they would do, they would rehearse looking at Spader's face so they could remember like what he was doing, and then so that they could, when they did the actual take, they would look at his eyes, remember that, and kind of react off of that. But they often felt like they were so excited because Spader was doing such incredible work that they'd like kind of like catch themselves like looking down. And so like a couple, like in some shots, they said like they definitely were like looking up, and just like kind of their eyes would like come down, and then they'd have to like go back up again really quick.
They're just checking out Ultron's chest, you know, no biggie.
What do you think of this Quicksilver? Because I think Days of Future Past Quicksilver, that iconic scene, like came out like a year or two before this. I think it was a year before this.
If I'm being honest, I prefer that Quicksilver. That is one of the best iterations of a character that's come out of the X-Men movies. Flat out.
I feel like, though, this Quicksilver makes more sense with his speed, because I feel like that Quicksilver is, like, I think people did the math, and he's, like, it's unrealistic how fast he's going.
Well, that's the thing, right? Yes, I remember seeing the math, too, but at the same time, you have to keep in mind, I mean, again, it's a Marvel movie, but at the same time, you're dealing with not him being super quick, right? That's not Quicksilver's power. He warps time around him.
Oh.
That's his power.
Okay. He's fast and she's weird. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, that's all you need to know.
Yeah, so what do you think of the Ultron design? I like at the end when they like laser him, like his face kind of melts and it looks like the comic accurate design with like the big red eyes.
Yeah, I agree. I like that.
I thought that was really a cool way to get the comic accurate thing. I kind of wish that was closer to what we got, but I kind of don't mind it. I kind of like it.
Yeah, and plus you're able to keep some of the comic accurate with like some of the drones as well.
Yeah,
not obviously perfect, but a little bit closer to it in some cases. It's a realistic interpretation of it, and plus at the same time they wanted to make him be more human. You know,
when we're human again. Oh, now that's stuck in my head too.
Why do you keep on doing that to yourself?
I like singing, Daniel.
I like singing.
I like dancing.
I like trains.
All right, back to the tank.
I feel like for what they wanted to do, I feel like the character design as well. For me, it's this iteration of Ultron. Like it's his origin, right? That's kind of throws me off because in the comics, again,
it's Hank Pym that creates him.
Yeah, it's Pym. And then eventually he merges with him.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
interesting.
That's a whole thing. Yeah, people. It was weird. I forget if that was in his wife abusing phase.
Oh.
Yeah. Hank has been through a lot.
Pank him.
Hank him. Pank him.
But anyways.
But yeah, so we pretty much are getting set up to go to Wakanda, right? Because they're like, okay,
I want to really quickly talk about though when Ultron's in the church, like listening, like Whedon in the director's commentary was like, just look at how he listens, because like that's just like a great marrying of Spader's performance with the artist at ILM, just creating this character of Ultron that like is a robot, but you can like relate to him and see like what he's thinking, kind of thing. That's just great craftsmanship. Whedon said he developed like a teenage girl crush on Ultron throughout this process.
Did we say it was ILM before that did this?
We did now. If we didn't, it's ILM.
And did they also do Hulk in this iteration because of the new setup?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
There were some shots they said that like four VFX studios touched like certain shots. Like one would do like a background replacement, one would do like Hulk VFX, one would do like the army of drones VFX, other ones would do like explosions. Like it was crazy.
Jeez. It's crazy how many layers and different teams go into that, and then you're still able to get like a fully realistic, nicely finalized look, you know? Because again, it doesn't really break throughout. And there's one shot I'm thinking of where it's very bad, and that's like at the very end when like Thor's like diving for the one girl, you know?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that shot's terrible. Did you take a look at it? It's only for like a second max, but like it's a terrible shot. The lighting is like weird and the tracking's weird.
Whatever.
But
you know,
again, it's only it's hard to get reference of Thor falling through the sky, you know?
Yeah, there's one shot I want to talk about later, but let's move on. We're lingering a bit.
Yeah. Talk about lingering. Claw lingers in these boats.
This was shot Wakanda. This like outskirts of Wakanda was shot in Bangladesh. Whedon said he called it Wakanda because they weren't really in Wakanda. They were like on the outskirts
of it. Yeah.
Wakanda. That was funny.
I thought this area with the boats was cool. I just want to say that, like, just for world building and just like
that was shot in Bangladesh.
Having that as like a secret hideout, that was pretty cool.
Secret hideout. The second unit shot that. Whedon said he couldn't take credit for that, but like some incredible shots.
Yeah.
Claw's afraid of cuttlefish.
Yeah.
Cuttlefish. All right. Whedon actually said that was like stemmed from his own fear of cuttlefish. Like,
really?
Whedon said that he saw a documentary on cuttlefish and they like really freak him out.
So he just wrote that whole part in.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, so Claw gets his arm cut off by Ultron. Spader improvised the and then like went on, it's like, I'm sorry, like whatever. Spader usually like he's like a theater person, so he doesn't like stray from the script. And so like afterwards, after he did that take, he went up to Whedon and was like, I added an is that okay? And Whedon was like, yeah, that was great. Like do it again.
Variation? I can improv? What?
What is this? A whole new world. Oh, that's gonna be stuck in my head too.
In this moment, actually in particular, I think it's very unique how we're able to see. I mean, it's like very naive and almost childlike how he's dealing with his emotions.
Yeah.
It's like he goes instantly to cutting the dude's arm off.
Yeah.
And then like apologizing to then again kicking him down some stairs.
They apparently shot 2 iterations of this where in one shot he did cut off the arm and one shot he didn't. And Whedon presented it to Feige and Feige said he loved a good hand chop off. So apparently
everybody does.
Feige's also a big fan of Empire Strikes Back and Star Wars films and everything.
Another brother. But yeah, so then
battle breaks out.
Yeah, team shows up.
Appear.
Shoot everyone! So yeah, everybody's going crazy.
We get to these like dream sequences.
Well, before that, there's a shot where again it's Quicksilver
tries to get Thor's hammer,
and then he gets the hammer and it like drags him. That was great.
It's gonna be major whiplash.
Yeah, honestly, that would hurt like a lot. I feel like his arm would be like yanked out of its socket or something, you know? That'd be a lot.
Yeah. I like how also Ultron doesn't follow the trope of like monologuing and revealing his evil plan.
You know, he like just he's like, I'm just going to monologue, and then he just instantly like beams them.
Yeah.
Also, the way he does that, I think that's pretty cool. Like with his like fingertips.
Yeah.
And like all the little tiny tools and stuff he has, so like the maglev.
Tiny tools.
Palms. Yeah. You know, the tiny tools. He's like Bob the Builder, but metal and sadistic.
Yeah. Exactly like Bob the Builder. Then we get to the dream sequences.
Yeah.
So to get to the dream sequences, like to get them into it, what they did was they filmed the actors walking backwards and then reversed it to give it like this awkward feel of them like kind of entering this weird dream space.
Huh.
Yeah, so we actually see some of Natasha's backstory when she was like a spy. Maybe we'll see and learn some more about that in the new Black Widow film whenever it gets released, hopefully.
We'll see. I want some more mouthless little girls. Cause that's not creepy.
What? And we get Peggy and Steve.
They're dancing.
I want them to have their dance. He can't stop seeing war everywhere, which is a big theme in this movie for him. Thor has a vision of Vision and of the Infinity Stones.
Well, he has a vision of Heimdall and being like the...
You see the vision for a second.
Bringer of Death. Yeah. And then from there, he's like, okay, I need to do some more research. I gotta go to Wikipedia and see what's going on here.
I kind of like that we don't see what the Hulk sees, like his dream. What do you think he's seeing?
I think he's seeing... Okay, so...
Cuttlefish.
So... Here's the thing, right? In all of their dreams, they have all either happened or have come true in some context, right? For example, Tony, we have Endgame, obviously, right? Or Infinity War and Endgame, right?
Yeah.
For Cap, he eventually gets his dance. Yeah, he has to go through all this war, but he eventually gets his dance.
Mm-hmm.
With Thor, we get Ragnarok, right?
Yeah.
There's a whole new reincarnation of Asgard.
With Black Widow, it's her past.
Yeah, with Black Widow, her big thing is her past in Red Ledger.
Maybe he saw Professor Hulk and was like, no!
Maybe. Maybe he saw Professor Hulk and he's like, oh my God. Or maybe he saw something like Betty.
Oh, maybe. Betty! Also, speaking of like the Hulkbuster, which is about to happen, the reason it's called Veronica is because in the Archie comics, Veronica is the opposite of Betty, and Betty was Banner's love interest. I thought that was a cool factoid.
No, I didn't even, oh my goodness, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I like when Bruce gets his tooth knocked out. He's like, "I'm sorry." And again, like we said last time, like that's a nice comedy moment that gives the fight scene like a moment to breathe and the audience to process what's happening.
Yeah, between like a giant mech versus a giant green dude and Wakanda.
Yeah. I also really like when Stark like destroys the building, how you can see like he shoots out missiles to like control the explosion, like the debris. Yeah.
Because if you think about it, right, the designers of this shot must have had to think about it, right? But like if he just hit it from the top and like
it would have like spread out a lot.
yeah, it would have spread out. Think of it like tilted over and like hit other buildings and stuff like that. But by doing it that way, it will just drop straight down.
This is like the safest way.
Yeah.
The safest way to like destroy a building, I guess.
Yeah, and plus he's Tony Stark. He can just pay for a new one.
Yeah.
But no, there's a lot of cool moments in this, right? Like I love the design. I'm not sure if this was with the original Hulkbuster, but of having like the drone with all the replacement parts.
Yeah.
That's ingenious.
Yeah. Because like you got to think when you're fighting the Hulk, like you're gonna get beat up a lot.
Yeah. If you know you can't punch out the Hulk, right? Can you contain his punch? And then like the way that they did that thing with like the arm that captures his arm, you know?
Yeah.
Oh man, I love that.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool moments. I like so at the very end when like he like almost comes to, it was originally shot that he comes to and he's Banner again.
And then Iron Man punches him.
No. He would die. No, but,
I feel like he would just turn back into the Hulk.
no, but they changed it so it's the Hulk again.
I feel like it works with him being the Hulk again, but then like the Hulk, like it had like the regular eyes instead of like him being all weeded up.
All wanded up.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witched up. Yeah. So next, after this all happens, the team's in like shambles, and Clint takes a team to his place. It was a beautiful location.
Dude, if I could have a house like this with Velma.
Wait, who is that? Velma? Wait, that's
Clint's wife, Laura, is Velma.
She plays Velma?
Yeah, that's the same actress that plays Velma.
What?
You didn't know that?
No.
She plays Velma, dude.
I so see it now, though. Oh my gosh.
You're like, Velma?
That's great, because we were talking about Guardians, like how Gunn worked on those live action.
Yeah.
Wow. What? My mind has been blown. But that house, Velma's house, is the Duke of Wellington's house from the United Kingdom, and they were able to film there.
Cool.
Maybe we'll see more of that in the Hawkeye series. I don't know. I feel like they changed houses for Endgame. Like some different property, I think.
Maybe, because maybe he got compromised, so then they had to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, when they get in, the girl that walks up to Thor, like after he destroys the Legos, that was the girl that played John C. Reilly's pink alien daughter in Guardians.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So she's multiple daughters.
So good for her. Yeah. I feel like this scene, this whole thing with Hawkeye, like, it does serve the purpose of making Hawkeye's decision to be an Avenger, like, more emotional.
Oh, wait.
Because he's risking his family of losing him.
PTSD toast with Thor. Thor's having, like, his vision, and then the toast pops up. So it's PTSD toast.
Okay.
And then...
P-Toast SD.
Yeah. Then he's like, I'm out of here to go to this well.
Yeah, so Thor leaves. This scene was in danger of being cut, of, like, when Hawkeye's talking to Velma.
You're not gonna lose that now, are you?
No.
Again, the talk he has with Wanda at the end, like right before she like goes back out there and is like is Avenger. I feel like that's definitely the most important one that he has, right?
Yeah.
I feel like this conversation was there for Velma to tell that to Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Just
Also,
imagining it as actually Velma.
I know. I can't not picture it. We need the Velma cut.
But like it doesn't come off as strong, you know? It doesn't come out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's where it fails.
Really quick here, we get Helen, the doctor. She's forced to work for Ultron with the cradle, with the scepter, and the mind control again.
Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon.
I thought that too. But Nat and Bruce also get close. They can't have a physical relationship. This scene actually was really long. Like it was a third of it was like cut out, and it was actually like pretty emotional. Like they were like talking, and like Natasha gets like hard refused and like turned down, like rejected in the part that was cut out.
Really?
Yeah.
Betty.
It's ironic that Scarlett Johansson was pregnant when talking about how she couldn't have kids.
Yeah. Bye bye bikinis.
But also we get the Tony Cap chopping wood scene. Heated quote unquote discussion. Civil War shadowing.
Yeah.
War shadowing. Haha.
I got it. I just ignored it.
I know. That's why I said it again.
Like, I need recognition.
Then Cap rips a log in half. That was actually styrofoam. Chris Evans said it was really good sound design because I like it sounds like you're ripping wood in half.
Yeah, styrofoam.
Yeah.
It's crack-a-lackin'.
I like when Tony leaves. He's like, "Don't take from my pile."
Yeah, it was like his pile is like a third of Cap's.
Yeah. When he walks into the tractor and he says,
Hello, dear,"
like John Deere, like that was RDJ's idea on the day. Why was Fury just hiding in the corner, like to make it like a dramatic entrance?
Why did he get Velma to go fetch him?
I don't know. Like he's just standing creepily in the corner, waits for him to come in, and then just like emerges. Like
why would he not just like...
he's freaking. It's like in Cap 2 when he was waiting for that like the epic line to come in to land on the helicopter. Like, oh, don't worry, company's coming. Like he's just waiting. Like
Nick Fury's just like, I need an entrance.
I think he's just Samuel L. Jackson likes his entrances.
Yeah.
Like when he comes in episode 3, you're under arrest. Also, when I paused to write something down here, and I think I sent it to you, Daniel, but RDJ looks directly at the camera for like a split second.
Yeah, you showed me, you took a picture of it and sent me it, and I'm like, oh yeah, he totally does.
It's really funny.
Hello, RDJ.
But yeah, Thor grabs Selvig so they can go to that like pool.
Yep.
There's some hilarious behind the scenes of Selvig walking out of the school that he's teaching at, like the university. He's like in the gag reel you can see like he just like does a bunch of like throwaway takes. He goes like, you know, like when he's talking to like the student, he's like, all right, just be at my place at like 8:30, don't be late this time. He like improv some other lines. Like one time he said, be at my place at 8:30, bring your sister.
Oh my god.
Another one was like, be at my place at 8:30, bring your swimsuit. And another one was, be at my place at 8:30, don't bring your mom this time. It's just like, jeez, Selvig.
Selvig.
I really like this Fury look. We cut back to like the Hawkeye residence.
Yeah, it's more civvy.
Like the turtleneck.
He's more chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This scene actually is very reminiscent of the lab scene in Avengers 1, like when they're kind of, or I guess right after that, like when they're recovering after like the midpoint battle and they're just kind of recouping, like kind of gearing up for the end. Just kind of reminded me of that. But this time, like they're actually a team officially.
Yeah.
Banner figures out Ultron's at the cradle.
Ultrons?
Yep, Ultron's altruistic.
Well, not only that he's at the cradle, I feel like he started to understand his philosophy here, right? Because
Cat's in the cradle.
he was like... that one's gonna be stuck in your head hard.
Yeah.
But about him saying he wants to evolve, right? And like again, this goes into like his relationship with Wanda and Pietro.
Yeah.
Pietro.
Also, Whedon said here that he thinks Mark Ruffalo is the best actor in his generation. I was like, wow, that's like a very bold statement.
That's big.
That's cool. Like, good job, Mark Ruffalo. Ultron then fuses the Mind Stone with the beginnings of Vision.
Yep.
And the Avengers head off to stop him.
We're like, haha, no, my guy.
Also, like when they're leaving the Hawkeye residence, like Hawkeye says like this is the last time. Like they were really trying to foreshadow that Hawkeye was gonna die, so that when Quicksilver sacrifices himself, it was like more kind of a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were setting up. There's multiple things you can see that like really set that up. Like you're like, if you know any movie tropes, you think Hawkeye's gonna die in this one. Then we get Thor kind of flailing around.
Oh yeah, he had a rough time in his bath. It was like he dropped a cat in the water and it's just like,
You should watch the deleted scene. It is so strange because like what happens is basically they say that they need a sacrifice for the waters to speak to people. So Thor acts as the sacrifice and then Selvig records what the waters say to him. What happens is Thor like kind of is talked through like he's almost possessed, but it's like another voice coming out of Thor. He's like possessed like Gollum almost. And
oh, that's weird.
It's just really weird. I'm glad they didn't do that.
I feel like the Vision was better.
Yeah.
Also, it feeds into like that concept of the Vision, you know?
Haha, yeah. I feel like the direction he was given, just like, all right, Chris, just flail around and scream, and then
you got it.
We'll take it from there. Yeah.
Oh man, that would have been a sight to see.
So also then where they're back at the cradle and Wanda could see that like Ultron plans on destroying the world. There's a shot. Did you see the shot where like he clenches his fist?
Yeah.
That reminded me of the Harry Potter spoof we did when Evan like clenches his wand.
When he's yeah.
Like I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh,
Like,
that's probably where I got that idea from. On looking back now. Also, check out that Harry Potter spoof on my YouTube channel. It's pretty good. I think it's got like a lot of views.
Really?
For my channel at least. I'm pulling it up quick. Yeah, it's got 500 views.
Dang, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. And it has, I think, like 1,000 on LinkedIn, too. Plus those 6,000 that Evan streamed it to with Tim the Tap Man.
That's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
That was the time.
Anyways, back to Tank. So, Wanda frees the Doctor and pauses the upload.
Yep.
Ultron blasts her.
So anyway, I started blasting. So pretty much the Avengers show up. They're trying to figure out his location, like specifically. Who is it? Hawkeye identifies like he's like in this one truck.
Yeah, I don't understand why they drop off Cap like
A mile
away.
Yeah.
And then he also gets there in like 2 minutes. Like, wow. I don't know. But then the Doctor says the gem's the key. And like, you can't just blow it up, which I kind of laughed at because I was like, that's what Wanda does like in a few films. She just blows it up like this exact stone.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of goes talking about like the power level of Wanda though. Like if it takes so much to blow it up and like she can just like do it like that.
Yeah. I feel like also Wanda like grows in power level throughout the films.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, pretty much Natasha, she gets on her bike and she's like, meow.
Launches on motorcycle.
Yeah, Cap's fighting Ultron on top of the thing.
I like that Clint's like, you're no match for him. Thanks, buddy.
You're the glue.
Yeah, you're the glue. But I like the so apparently the shots of like that were low on the motorcycle, they filmed that with like an RC truck or like a toy truck, like mini truck, which I thought was really cool. It just reminded me like the Toy Story like RC truck before they like blast off.
Yeah, just like following Natasha as she's driving through, like weaving in and out of these
I
cars.
was imagining Joss Whedon just like driving like this RC truck, like I'm making a Marvel movie. That's in the truck. Gets in the truck. Ultron's dragged away.
Yeah, she gets in the truck. She's able to get the Vision body back to Clint, but then she's taken.
She's nabbed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Maximoff twins save the day.
Yeah, surprisingly, everybody's like, "Wow."
Reminds me of the Spider-Man, like
The
Spider-Man
train.
2 sequence
Yeah.
when they're stopping the train.
It was also unique to see how like Cap started to interact with them here because he's like they're technically still hostiles, but he sees that they're not like working with him.
She makes like a good point. Like Tony's not gonna like take care of it. And he's like, oh shoot, I've made a great error in judgment.
Yeah.
They also apparently shut down like a huge chunk of Seoul, the city in South Korea. And it's like a huge city. The city was like the government and the city, like the citizens were huge fans of Marvel, so they were super like willing and excited to help out in any way they could.
Please film here, please. No, that's cool.
Also, just apparently they had to do some different editing because Natasha, like, because they cut that scene of her getting like rejected, there were some shots of her like looking like emotionally distraught because like you gotta think like she was just like dumped pretty much almost, and like now she's fighting and like that's gonna like mess with you a bit.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't like being dumped by the Hulk.
Yeah.
And then having to go get nabbed by some Baldy McMetal.
Baldy Ultron, yeah.
Yeah.
So they bring the cradle back to Tony.
Yeah.
Tony sends off Barton so he can make another Ultron, make Vision. I love Banner says he feels like he's caught in a time loop, and I'm like, haha, not yet, Banner.
Oh my goodness.
Just wait for Endgame. Time travel.
When did we get to the Nexus yet?
No, that's next. That's Nexus.
You sure?
Oh wait, no, that did happen. Sorry, I forgot. That's before this.
Yeah.
That was not Nexus.
I'm going around looking for nuclear codes and you don't want me to.
You can see in the background that the workers are like taking a selfie with him, like while he's working.
Like while he's doing that, yeah. But no, I feel like that was a good point because like this brings back because there's somebody who's working behind the scenes, right? They don't know who it is
It's
until
Jarvis.
we get back here with Jarvis, and we're like, oh, Jarvis is back, baby.
So Paul Bettany, he said he got the call to like from Joss Whedon asking him if he wanted to be Ultron. During that day, right before he got the call, he had just met with like a big time producer, and the producer just said like, you didn't get the job, and he basically said like, you're through in this industry, like you're not going to be anything in Hollywood. And then like he was like so upset and like kind of like stormed out of there. And then like after he got outside, he literally sat down on the curb and was like, oh my gosh, is this guy right? And as he was sitting on the curb, he got the phone call, and Joss Whedon was like, do you want to be Vision? And he was like, yes, I do.
Of course, Josh. I'm your man. I'm your robot.
You say
man.
Josh? It's Joss.
Did I say Josh?
Yeah.
I must have put too much shh on there.
Josh.
Anywho,
Yeah.
but yeah. That's life.
Yeah.
Sometimes things just come your way. You're not expecting it.
Sometimes you get opportunities. Sometimes you don't take opportunities. You know.
Yeah. Subtext.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
It's also really cool here. It's impressive attention to detail with Banner's glasses. You can see the Jarvis hologram like reflected in them, which is really cool.
Ray tracing.
Nat wakes up with Ultron. That sounds weird.
Yeah, I don't see that.
But actually, have you seen the SNL skit of the like Black Widow rom-com.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's basically like Ultron's like her boyfriend, and like he like becomes like this homicidal maniac, and then she finds the Hulk, and it's actually Scarlett Johansson like
Yeah, like
playing her herself, but then everyone else is just like super low budget. Like the Hulk's just like a big guy.
yeah, like I like how the Ultron is just like a mask.
Yeah, Ultron's
Yeah.
just like literally just like a human in a mask. Like you could see the skin. It's like the cheesiest thing I've ever seen. But yeah,
That's great.
And we see Ultron with his new vibranium shell.
Yeah, he rips himself apart right in front of Natasha.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, take a look at this. You want to?
Hey, you looking for this?
You want some of
Boom.
my nuts and bolts? Haha."
Oh wow.
Would he even have nuts and bolts? If you were Ultron, how would you design yourself?
I don't know. That's something I can honestly say I've never thought about until this exact moment. I'd give myself a cool racing stripe.
I was gonna say, like, would you give yourself like a bunch of like muscles and like tattoos? But I guess there'd be like engravings because they're like.
I give myself hair so I avoid the trope of baldy Mick Jake.
I would look so weird, just like all the metal and then just
And
hair.
then a wig.
Man.
It probably looks similar to that rom-com, like the human.
Honestly, yeah.
Wow. All right. Back to the tank. I think. Nat
Yeah.
contacts Barton. Vision's almost completed, and then
Yeah, and then we get like the fight.
the Maximoff twins come in and stop it.
Yeah.
And then there's the mini skirmish. And so Thor comes in, and when he like electrocutes it, he actually had a Mjolnir that would light up when he like did the motion, so that like it could get the reflections, like the light bouncing off of his face, like practically.
Ah.
I thought that was really cool. And it's cool to see behind the scenes, and he like goes to strike, and then like Mjolnir like
Just
lights
lights
up.
up.
Like it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Is it like automatic based on like movement? Like you know how there's
I'm
like
honestly not sure. It might have been like a guy offset, just like pressing a button.
that'd be so fun. You know, like those toy lightsabers. I mean, I know you do. Like where you would like swing it and it goes. Meow.
Yeah.
But it's like that, but it's like it turns on the light instead of making a sound from Mjolnir.
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 Hold on, near on there. Hello, dear. I'm looking for nuclear codes. And you want me to?
But yeah, so I love the line. My favorite line in this whole film is when Banner, when Wanda's like, I know you're mad, and Banner's like, I could choke the life out of you and never change a shade. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, dude, he freaking went full
That
death metal right
was
there.
that's my favorite line in this whole film.
Dude, he didn't care anymore.
And he actually grabs her.
He embraced the mad scientist.
Yeah, so he grabs her when they're fighting, and like you can see it's a quick shot, but she like casts a spell through herself to like hit him. I thought that was pretty cool.
I didn't even notice that.
It's kind of like what like the guy that quote unquote killed Loki did in Thor 2. Like when he is stabbed and then just like takes the thing he stabbed with and puts Loki on it.
Yeah.
Tom Hiddleston, man, what a guy. Am I right?
Dude, he's an amazing actor.
Can you imagine seeing him? All right. Anyways, back to Tank. A really cool thing. I don't know if this was intentional. It probably was, but Wanda is like I think the first person that like locks eyes with Vision, and like you can see in Wanda's eyes, like she's like scared because she thinks it's Ultron, but like it's like not just scaredness, you know. There's something there.
Yeah.
A little hint towards something. Yeah. I really like the music. It's like eerie almost when like Vision's like floating and just kind of figuring himself out.
Yeah,
it's
like
like
he has like reconfigured himself.
like a weird mysterious tone in the music, and then like it kind of like settles. Like it was the score there is
I felt like it fit very well.
Yeah.
Because it's like you just literally made like it's not even artificial intelligence, it's artificial life. Like
yeah.
that's the big difference there. Because it's like actual living tissue, and it's just weird to think about.
Yeah. Also, the like Vision, Paul Bettany had to spend. It was only 1.5 hours in makeup, he said, which I thought was like not too bad. But he said
But
like
his hearing was terrible, I thought, because of the cups.
yeah, he couldn't hear anything, so they ended up like poking holes in like the side. So what they did actually, like it's not all prosthetics, obviously. Like they did prosthetics. All right, what color do you think he is? Actually, let me think. I know we've talked about this before, but what color do you think he is?
I think he's like a red.
That's what I said too. But actually, in the behind the scenes, when you look at it, it's like very purple. So I think they touched that up in post as well.
Yeah.
He said that he had like tubes that would go through his suit that were like cooling tubes and would pump like.
Oh, that's right, because his suit was like super
cold-
hot, right?
Yeah, super
Hot.
Yeah. But yeah, really cool prosthetics. And what they did, they like touched up, they had the prosthetics, then they pretty much like rebuilt the whole thing with CG and just kind of layered to make it look more androidy. They said it was kind of like the opposite of an uncanny valley almost. Like they felt like they had something real and they were trying to make it
Look
more uncanny.
Yeah.
Which is just like not what you hear a lot.
That's weird to think about. Yeah.
Because he is an android, like he's not human, but like, I don't know.
Imagine if Data just walked out and he's just like, hey, bro.
I love there's no way to make you trust me. And then he picks up Thor's hammer.
Yeah. It's like, everybody's just there, just like,
And that was just like set up like since the party scenes. That's really great setup payoff.
One thing I also like here, it's subtle, but very notable, how Thor like congratulates Tony. He's like, "Good job."
That was improv by Thor, actually, or by Chris Hemsworth. Like that wasn't in the script, so yeah, he's like, "Well done," and like pats him on the back. Yeah, then they suit up for the final battle.
Yep.
Friday's uploaded to Iron Man. They show the team putting in earpieces because they got called out for not having earpieces in Avengers 1. Fans were like so upset.
How do they talk to each other?
There's something you should see in the next shot when Quicksilver goes in and like shoots that gun to evacuate people. If you watch the people on the right, it looks like they're literally just like they just sped up the footage. Like they were told to kind of like sit still while like Pietro like ran in. And like if you look at it, like specifically the people on the far right that like are overlapping Pietro, like it looks like they also move kind of fast. So it literally looks like they just took footage and just like sped it up and then put it in the film.
I wonder if that's intentional or not. Because again, it's not that he's super quick.
Like he's manipulating time.
Yeah.
I don't think it was intentional because people on the left were not moving fast.
But you never know. You never know.
Yeah, but priorities evac Sokovia, and Zemo's family did not get evac'd, which we will find out later.
Yeah.
The way they did these Quicksilver scenes, they said they had 3 cameras. They had 2 like hyper fast cameras that would record like tons of frames a second, and they had a normal camera, and they'd record him like doing the action, and then they'd like splice them together.
Yeah, that makes sense. I could you could definitely see it. I was thinking that like there's definitely a lot of frames in there because it's a nice smooth.
Yeah, trail.
Yeah,
I like the trail a lot.
The trail's really cool.
That effect. But yeah, Bruce saves Nat. I think his hair looks really weird in this scene.
Yeah, it does.
And you know why?
Why?
I found this out after I wrote that down. It's because it was during reshoots, and they weren't even in the same location. Like Natasha, like Scarlett Johansson and Mark Ruffalo, were not in the same place ever. It was their stand-ins.
Huh, that's cool.
Stand-ins.
That's crazy to think about that stand-ins could actually do.
They do great.
Like shots like that complex.
A stand-in could kiss Scarlett Johansson. You never know.
You know what? That's pretty rad.
What a great job that would be. But yeah, so another army. There's a Dutch angle when Iron Man lands to face Ultron.
Yeah.
This is the first time I didn't get PTSD to Thor. I was like, it's been enough time. Enough time has passed now. It's been like many months.
Oh man.
But yeah, Vision burns Ultron out of the internet.
I was like, how would you even go about that? So what he would have had to have done, like physically, is connect through the main Ultron body, right, to all the other ones.
Oh shoot.
And pretty much like short their Wi-Fi connectors.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird to think about? The only way for him to be able to connect to the internet would be if he like directly jacked in, which would be weird if you saw like a an Ultron bot trying to connect through Ethernet on a floating city.
Yeah.
I just thought it was weird to think about.
Yeah, but where were we? Back to the tank. That wasn't really away from the tank, but we're back to it anyways. Yeah, so we find out Ultron's plan is that he's like making Sokovia a meteor pretty much.
Yeah.
Nat and Bruce kiss, and then Hulk comes out.
Well, they kiss, and then she pushes them.
Push it real good. Dun, 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 dun. Another song that will be stuck in my head. Sorry, Logan.
But no, it's cool, this transition of like how he gets up there then with her, like how he carries her up.
Yeah, you get killed, walk it off. Evans enjoyed that mini speech he said. Well, I'm just like the villain that becomes the hero, Whedon said, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think that's true.
She has like that mini freak out, and like we said, Barton gives her that pep talk that I think really is not forced, and like I really like that scene with his character. And also the reason that happened actually is because that was like I think one of the very first days they shot that. I think they filmed this in Italy, but they were paired together because they were the only actors available. Oh, because it was at the beginning of production. Some of the actors were wrapping up other projects or doing press for like their other Marvel movies. So like they only had Elizabeth Olsen, Jeremy Renner, and Aaron Johnson, the guy that played Quicksilver. Yeah. So like that's kind of why Barton has that bond with them, I think, and is seen with them a lot, is because
they were available.
They were available, and then that just kind of continued throughout the filming. They kind of just like built that arc, which was kind of interesting.
Well, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's really impressive then when Steve one-arm pull-ups while holding a woman. Like, what?
Yeah, like what if he didn't catch himself as he like pulled himself back up to...
Yeah.
Thor would have had to grab him again. Yeah. On top of carrying in the other car.
That'd have been embarrassing. Yeah. Yeah. So Scarlet Witch goes off. It's pretty cool. Yeah. The effects and everything. Clint wants to shoot Quicksilver. That's another moment to breathe. That was actually Jeremy Renner riffing. Like Whedon said, just told him like, just pretend like you're gonna shoot him and then like riff. And so that was him riffing.
That's pretty good.
Then we get the helicarrier. Boom. You looking for this?
Was there something else though?
Stark finds out that they can blow up the city.
That's right. That's when they start making the plan, and then they have to start deciding, okay, do we...
Yeah.
This is actually the same problem that we actually just talked about in ethics, actually.
Oh, really? If you have to blow up a city that's about to become a meteor, that's a very specific ethics problem.
Well, no. It's you gotta think of it like this, right? In this situation, it was between two world powers, right? So like you could say like U.S. and Russia or something like that, right? And about to go nuclear war, right? The only way to prevent it is if you nuke a city like New York and blame it on aliens.
What?
That way both superpowers now have to unite and fight the aliens.
Gotcha.
This is what we talk about in ethics. This is why it's fun. So the big idea here is you're gonna have to blow up the city anyway. Because if you don't, everyone else is going to die, right?
Yeah.
The people, if they stayed on the city, they're going to die either way, whether it falls or not. So, yeah, the evac needed to happen on top of, they solved the problem, pretty much is what I'm saying. Because this is like a ethical dilemma. You're supposed to be thinking about like, oh, how do you do this? And then you're just like, yeah, screw that. We're just going to loophole it. We're going to have
save
everybody
everyone.
saved. Yeah.
Yeah. It's an old helicarrier that pops up. It's like dusty. They actually didn't have the old set, so they had to kind of rebuild it based off of like the last film. And
Jeez.
They actually took some shots from the first one and like removed people from the background to like recreate it again.
Didn't know.
Also, that kid from Community is back. The one that stood up to Crossbones.
Yeah.
Good for him.
The one that's on he's like leading the drop parties.
Yeah. The reason he's in is because that was one of Joss Whedon's favorite sequences from Cap 2 is when he stood up to Crossbones.
It's like,
yeah.
we need this guy.
Yeah.
I think it worked out.
Also, I appreciate that War Machine's there, but he looks very similar to the like Ultron bots. Like I feel like if he like landed next to Thor would just like whack him without thinking. Yeah.
Oh, boom! You're looking for this.
Boom! You're looking for boom. Yeah. Then we get Thor stalling and Vision whacks Ultron with Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a great shot here when Tony is like in his HUD and he's like, "Let's do this," like Avengers, whatever. And then it like zooms out of the Iron Man suit and then he like flies away. Oh,
Yeah,
like that was so
a good
cool.
shot.
I like rewatched that like 3 times.
I forgot this one moment. Okay, it was with Natasha and Steve, like right before the helicarriers came in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "It's not a bad way to go. Where else am I going to give you like this?" And I was like,
Like a plane?
No, in my mind, I was like, Vormir.
Oh no.
Yeah. I don't know why my brain thought that, but I had to write it down and I had to say it. It just needed to be said.
Okay. Well, yeah. So now that I'm sad.
Yeah. Well, she's alive now.
The team's working together. We get all those hero shots.
You better not be playing Hide the Zucchini.
Chris Evans' stunt double did like that super crazy twirl. Like that was
flip.
really cool.
Yeah.
The behind the scenes, he like did that like legit, no wires or anything. He just
That's
like landed
crazy.
on the mat. And then there's a shot of like Clint throwing his bow, which I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get. I remember seeing that. I'm like, what are you doing, my guy?
Like, boom, you looking for this? Throws a bow.
That's like the biggest meme out of this movie now.
Yeah.
Boom, you looking for this? Oh man.
Yeah, so after Clint throws his bow for no reason, the main Ultron is burned.
Yeah.
And it looks like we said, the comic book. Why do they stop burning him, though? Like, they just stop.
I don't know. Well, wait, did we talk about the shot where it's at the church and it's like...
Yeah, I said all of them working together.
Okay.
It's really epic.
Yeah.
Really difficult to pull off.
I don't know. Maybe they're just like, let's take a breath here.
He's had enough.
He's like, in hindsight.
Then gets yeeted by Hulk.
Yep. And then Tony starts figuring out how to do the thing. He cuts the hole in the bottom. Again, like his little laser thing, which is cool.
Then when they kind of like disperse and Barton has to like go after that kid, that was the kid that from the beginning that's looking at the like Iron Legion guy, the Legionnaire, whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Also, in a deleted scene, he's the kid that like tells the Maximoff twins to go to the church to meet up with Ultron originally for the first time.
I think I've seen that one.
Also, speaking of like reflections in the eyes from earlier, in Tony's HUD, you can see like the HUD reflected like on his pupils, which is just like crazy attention to detail.
Ray tracing.
Also, if Ultron wouldn't have shot the Hulk, like just as kind of like a jerk move when he was flying by, like he could have gotten away.
Yeah, no, he totally could have. But again, Ultron being Ultron, he was kind of just born yesterday, you know what I'm saying?
True.
So that could have been him like, I don't know.
Yeah, Clint looks like he's about to die, but Quicksilver saves him.
Yeah.
I really like Wanda's reaction here. I think Elizabeth Olsen does an incredible job and like repulses from like the Force Unleashed almost.
Yeah, she's just like, dude.
That was like one of the first things they shot. And actually in the first take, she started weeping, but it was like a ugly weeping, so like snot was coming out of her nose.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
And she was like, "Can we do another take?" And Joss Whedon was like, "Yeah."
Just like Fitz doing all of her makeup and everything, and then she just ruins it by
Yeah.
All right, gotta do like another 15 minutes.
Yeah. And also, so when Hawkeye lays down next to dead Quicksilver on the
On the boat.
on the boat in the behind the scenes, like I think Pietro like lies down and the actor accidentally like twitches a little bit, so it looks like he's still alive. I mean, because obviously the actor's still alive. So like Barton like rolls over and like pretends to suffocate him to make sure he's actually
Oh yeah,
dead.
I've seen that too. Yeah, he's just like
Yeah.
die or something like that. He's like, oh man.
And then like Quicksilver starts like pulsing, like trying to like get his hand off, pretending. Yeah. Wanda leaves her post to rip Ultron's like quote unquote heart out, and we get that like the shield thing again.
Yeah.
Like the same shape as the shield. And then Vision saves Wanda. Okay, the city blowing up is actually like visually very stunning, in my opinion.
Oh no, it definitely is. I believe it's a good mix of. I'm not sure if it's like Quixel Mega Scans, but it's definitely a good mix of just dynamic geometry and breakdown simulation. Especially like when it gets over the water and you got like Tony like weaving in and out and all that. Like, oh my god, that was amazing.
Yeah, weaving. Yeah. So then Hulk takes a Quinjet and leaves for Ragnarok. Goes to Sakaar.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson, the first time she saw that sequence like finished with Hulk just sitting in the Quinjet, she was like, haha, it's Fat Man in a little car.
My love interest. Haha, Fat Man, little car.
Also, so this last shot of the last Ultron bot, like it's a beautiful shot of the sun behind them, like peeking through the trees. That was apparently shot in a parking lot. Like what? That's and like I didn't even like that wasn't any of the behind the scenes stuff. Just like James Spader just offhandedly mentioned that in like an interview that I just watched like just before like we started this.
Oh yeah.
He was just like, yeah, that was shot in a parking lot. Like it looks beautiful. I was like, what?
That's crazy to think about. Just the range of like how
the visual effects.
You know, like these are professional movies, right? And then it's just like the range in which
we're gonna film in a parking lot.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I loved Vision's line here where he says a thing isn't beautiful because it lasts. Like that's something that I personally just like need to, and I've been trying to for like the past many years of my life, just like understand that like good things have to come to an end kind of thing. Enjoy the time you have with people, you know?
Yeah, I'm not good with that. I wish I could live forever, but that's just me.
I wonder what Paul Bettany's like, what it was like for him jumping from voiceover to like
actual like
Android in person.
Yeah. That must have been like a big jump.
I wonder if it was like daunting or anything. Yeah. And also because Vision is very much a different character than Jarvis. So like he's like becoming a new character.
Yeah.
Like he played 2 characters in this. Good for him.
No, I never really thought of it like that. Like, I never really, because like Jarvis kind of like, I mean, Vision built off of Jarvis, right? So I never really like.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a different character, you know? So I never really.
Yeah. I also feel like this wasn't really the Age of Ultron. It was like the Weekend of Ultron. It was very short.
Yeah.
Like the Week of Ultron or something. Hey, this is Editor Jake from the future. Just want to let you all know that a lot of those songs did get stuck in my head. So thank you, past Jake, for that. Also, I came up with a joke with my dad when I was on the phone. Weekend at Ultron's, like Weekend at Bernie's, because we said that. And I wanted to add that because I thought it was really funny. I hope you do too. All right, back to the show. But yeah, then we get a bunch of wrap up. Tony goes to the Avengers facility in upstate New York. You actually see when Nat's looking at that video of Clint's kid, his middle name is like Nathaniel Pietro Barton.
Yeah.
So they named
him after
both. Pietro, after Quicksilver, who saved his dad.
You saved the dad.
Saved the dad. Also, the like where Nat's in is just like a giant empty space. They were gonna set decorate it, but Whedon saw it and was like, no, like this is perfect. Like it kind of reflects her emotional state right now, just after Banner
left.
Kind of left her.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I felt like that was a good call. And also led up to the joke with Cap being like, I mean, it is a good looking wall.
Yeah. But before that, we get the trio again, Cap, Tony, and Thor. This was reshoots again with the gag with the elevator. It was Feige's idea to kind of make it a joke here. Good call. And then Thor wrecks the lawn. Yeah. Tony claims he's retiring.
But not really. Like, at all.
Yeah. One thing that Joss says he regrets is when Tony and Cap are talking, Cap says, like, Tony's like, are you going to be okay here or something like that? And Cap's like, I'm home. And like he seems like very sincere, but like Whedon said like he wishes they would have done a different take where like he wasn't so sure, because like this whole time we've been seeing that like Cap wants to be with Peggy, like that was his like kind of dream, and I feel like that would have served so well with the future of the MCU. Like it's not like make or break or anything, but like I feel like that would have tied together very nicely.
Yeah, no, I agree. I guess with the way that it was shown, it kind of showed that he like accepted where he was, you know?
Right?
Which of course we know changes later on, but
yeah,
I agree. That concept of like him still thinking about Peggy and like that dream. So
Peggy
and the war,
Peggy and the Nazis. But yeah, so Cap and Nat, they're with the new Avengers. This film does a really good job of kind of expanding the roster and showing the new characters from the other solo films like coming together.
Yeah.
Apparently, actually, Whedon wanted to have Captain Marvel and Spider-Man in this, but they couldn't get the rights for it, or like there was like scheduling conflicts or something. I don't know.
Wait, isn't Captain Marvel owned still by?
Yeah, I think
Marvel.
They just like weren't ready for it or something.
I
think there might be like behind the scenes where like she was on set, but they might have CG'd her out because they didn't like want to just introduce a character right at the end.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Then we get Avengers Assemble fake out, which makes Endgame like that much more satisfying when he finally says it, even though he kind of whispers it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Whedon actually said that there was never a doubt in his mind that this is how the movie would end with like the fake out.
I feel like it was a good call. Like not only are you setting yourself up for the future Avengers, but again, like you're saying, like it's developing like the team.
Yeah.
Like we have like the main team, right?
The A team for Avengers.
Yeah. Now we're working on the B team for
Avengers.
Yeah, Avengers.
No, we can come up with something better than that.
The Beforeers.
The Beforeers.
Yeah, because Avengers is after, right?
The Baldy McVengers.
Well,
That's the new team.
is there anybody actually bald on the team?
Vision.
That's true.
Yeah,
But he-
we did it. End of podcast. All right, but before we actually end the podcast, I just want to say mid credits is with Thanos. I'll do it myself. I'll do it.
Yeah,
myself.
so it looks like he's in Odin's vault, right?
I don't know.
To me-
because does this mean that like he already has genocided the dwarfs on Nevedalir or whatever?
I don't know. That's the thing. So it's like
because the vault like still has
the fake one.
it in Ragnarok.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing. So that's what I don't know. I don't know the story behind that Infinity Gauntlet, right?
I don't know.
So
I don't know.
it's
But yeah, so
it's weird.
it was really cool seeing like the interviews this time. The cast, they finally like figured out that if you put the cast together for interviews, they like have such a good time like riffing off of each other and just chatting with each other instead of just being one-on-one with the interviewer. I would highly recommend if you are to watch any like interviews, like start here because they start bringing the cast together and they just have like a great rapport and they're really like
They're homie.
like cool, like just they're
chill.
homies together. Yeah, they're friends, family, all that stuff.
homie.
Yeah. Josh said there was a ton of back and forth with the studio and like he doesn't really want to work with Marvel anymore. Like in order to keep the farmhouse scene, which was like a huge chunk of the movie, he had to include like the Thor pool to set up Infinity War, just like kind of compromises he had to make. Yeah, this is also the first and only film that Thor appears in a Marvel movie without Loki, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's weird to think about. He's finally on his own.
Yeah.
I knew that's where it was gonna go.
All right, but he has a lock of Loki's hair like kind of braided in with his because
Yeah.
he's like mourning because he still thinks he's dead
Again.
oh boy. But yeah, so that was the end. That's all I had for Avengers Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Like we said, next time we're going to talk about Mandalorian and just kind of take a little hiatus. I know we're not at the end of phase 2. We might try to pump out Ant-Man. I just need to see how much work these Mandalorian things are going to be.
Yeah. What is in the phase 2? Right. We have
Ant-Man, which is next.
I feel like this Avengers is a good place to stop, though. Honestly. Like,
yeah, honestly. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll play it by ear. We'll let you guys know. Yeah. Bam.
When does Mandalorian drop?
When this goes out, yesterday. So Friday
Really?
for us. Yeah. So if you're listening to this, we might have a Mandalorian episode out very soon. So check that out.
Dude, I'm actually super excited now. I did not know. I've been so busy that
I know, dude. I am very excited.
that's gonna be sick.
But yeah. Anything else you want to talk about today, Daniel?
No, I think I'm good. When we go back to listen to this one, after things happen,
Uh-huh.
we're gonna be hating ourselves.
Yeah.
uh,
All right, Daniel. Take us home.
we just talked about whatever we want to talk about, and now we're done.
Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. I honestly really, really appreciate it. I really like doing this. Want to keep doing it.
More.
If you enjoy it, would you please do me a favor and just share it with one friend? That would honestly mean the world to me. I really appreciate that. Yeah, leave a review or just reach out to me personally if you know me or on the social medias. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, all that jazz.
Any and all feedback we appreciate, and
Yes.
of course we thank you guys for always staying and listening.
Yeah, if people I've listened to a podcast where people do segments called letters. So if you want to reach out on social media or something, or want to contact us with questions or something or anything, we could do a segment potentially where we read those. But we just need people to do that for that to happen first. So yeah, all right. See you next time. Goodbye.
Peace.